boy. Here we go again. Swear to God, I did this show before, but like I tell you guys all the time, ain't gonna be the last. It's gonna keep happening. Drew Titan Bronx on deck. Shout out to the mighty LDBC. This is Painful Excellence Podcast, and this is painful for me to discuss. What can I tell you? Let's do this roll call. Todd Swindle, Diana, salute sis. Reef, my brother, the Watcher. Yeah, man, this is becoming all too common. Chilltown Majors, Josh, Eric Jordan, Sam Seals, T-Bell, the Matt, Derek Gaines, the legend, TJ Love Sports, smash the like button, Waltman, Mind of Monster, Musa, salute, Jeff Spark in the building, PGH Big Dog, Reset Common Sense. Smash the like button, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just going to have a conversation because you know what? Thomas, what's good? I had this conversation before. Y'all remember a woman named, what's her name? Ajiki Owens. Remember Miss Owens? Killed by her neighbor. I did a show on that. Let me see if I can find it. It was Pep Talk 189. I'm looking right at it. Pep Talk 189. Remember? That white woman shot her through the door? She wasn't a cop. This guy was. And thank goodness for body cams. You see the importance of body cams? D'Artagnan 8, salute. You see the importance of body cams? You see what I'm talking about? Yeah, salute, sis. The more we see things like this, the more certain people expose themselves for who they are. I don't know where y'all frequent online, but I know when Mike Brown was killed and the brother that was running away from the cop and the cop shot him in the back, if it wasn't for that young man who recorded the whole thing, because the dude shot him in the back. First of all, there's no reason for you to be shooting anyone in the back when they're trying to flee a situation. Second of all, he put his taser next to the dead body and lied on the report and saying that he wrestled the taser away from him, and that's why he shot him. It's all a lie. And when we expose these things, when these things expose itself by modern technology, Philando Castile, who didn't get justice, in my opinion. The list goes on and on and on. This keeps happening. And you get these sympathizers, always online. None of them are black. And they'll tell you, well, a cop has a hard job. I told y'all the other week, when I used to go back and forth with these fools on Facebook and on Instagram, I just don't do it anymore. I just block them. Growth, salute my brother Kofa in the building, salute. Usually the people that are talking the most up, they're talking up cops. You know what I found? They're talking from a place of experience because they've been arrested. Some of my cop buddies would be on there. They'll be like, yo, watch this. And they'll ask them a question. Like, yeah, so when did you get locked up? Oh, I got locked up 10 years ago and I know this and I did that and I know this and I learned my lesson. And oh, wow. Well, what do you know? Well, incidentally, I'm a cop. This has been my friends talking to them. Then they got to go through, no, you're not. Yeah, I am. So here you are, a criminal talking to a police officer about how hard the job is, and you're justifying this white cop shooting somebody, a black person. Now watch this. What about the people that are not cops? Like the neighbor that slayed Miss Owens. Crazy stuff, right? There's always an excuse. KDB Sports, salute. There's always an excuse for them. But it's thoroughly exposed. Because here we go again. Anyone that stands in the pocket for this dude can burn in hell. You got to understand what we're dealing with. I'll give you the brief history of this garbage. When police officers was rumored to be doing this to black people, and black people were saying, yo, look, These cops are hopping out cars, beating us up, getting in the cars. They're not even arresting us. They're just beating us up and leaving. White people were saying, hey, man, cops don't do that. You're exaggerating. No. Well, what were you doing? I was sitting on the stoop in front of my building. They jumped out and just beat me up. Cops don't do that. Fast forward to, technology gets a little better. Years later, Rodney King happens. And black people nationwide said, explain that. They're saying, no, man, that's just an isolated incident. And black people were like, no. I knew people that said, man, I've seen worse ass whoopings than that. Then it went from, oh, well, he kept moving. You're beating him up with nightsticks. He's supposed to keep still? Then they go, where do they go? Where do they always go? Oh, well, he has a criminal record. Oh, he was on drugs. Yeah? Was he on drugs at that moment? And what did that have to do with anything? What did that have to do with that ass whooping? They were just whooping his ass. They weren't trying to handcuff him. They just beat Rodney King up. That was an isolated incident, right? Then decades later, we have social media, and with a click of a button, you can go live on your phone, and you could be, the World Wide Web could see you in live, in live real-time action. Orlando Castro murder is caught on video. A bunch of these murders from cops were caught on video. What you got to say now? And here we go again. I don't know, man. This is not the time for this to be happening. For those of you that are not rocking with Kamala Harris, it'll be something like this that she can get on her next campaign trail and say, I'm going to stop this. Because this is a black woman killed by a white man. Shout out to all you divestors. He told her, I will shoot you in your face, and I'll be damned. That's what he did, right? He kept his word. And we're going to go through this guy's history. Come to find out, bingo, he has a history of being a problem. He shouldn't even been carrying a gun. Come to find out. See what I mean? But when your core beliefs prohibit you from seeing what's in front of you, what do we call that? We call it cognitive dissonance, which is a theory in social psychology. It refers to the mental conflict that occurs when a person's behaviors and beliefs do not align. It may also happen when a person holds two beliefs that contradict one another. And that's what we're dealing with here. This is what we're dealing with. So 10-year-8, that's bro, listen. When I was in the academy, you knew who was from the 5 boroughs, and you knew who lived in Suffolk County and Nassau County. You knew. Because the brothers and sisters from the city, we knew what time it was. We all identified, but the other dudes, we were like, yeah, all right, keep an eye on him or her. This is disgusting, and it keeps happening. Guess what? It's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? That woman did nothing wrong. And she got shot in the face. She got shot in the face. And then, insult to injury, you find out that this dude was a chronic problem in other departments. I'm going to get to it. They're shooting y'all sisters too. You boss chicks, boss babes. I don't need no man. And y'all running, and I'm listen, I'm not taking the cheap shot. I'm saying they're viewing you now how they view us. All these videos of y'all acting masculine, it's all over social media. They're viewing y'all like how they view us now. They're now fearful of you. So I've seen videos of cops punching women, body slamming y'all, throwing y'all into the street, Macho Man elbow dropping y'all off of the squad cars. They're treating y'all like how they treated us for years. This comes with the territory. Y'all still want to be masculine? It's crazy. But this dude was crazy, and whoever kept giving him a job, all of you should be held accountable. He was supposed to be stopped. Let me tell you something. When I was in the police academy, I forget this cop's name. The dude, y'all remember in New York the Luima trial? Not Diallo. The Luima trial, where the police officer shoved the stick up his behind. You remember that? By the time I got to the academy, he was homework assignments, meaning he messed up so bad and put such a black eye on the police department. They had to make brand new rules to make sure that they let the public know that is not a part of what they're trained. And then when I got to the academy, matter of fact, there was 2 instructors that knew him personally. And guess what they said? By that time, they were like lieutenants and sergeants, but they said, yeah, we knew Volpe. That was his name. Yup, Volpe, that's his name. I think that was his name, right? They said, yo, he was a problem in the academy. And they didn't get into detail, but they was like, yo, he did at least 2 things where we just knew they were going to remove him and fire him. And they didn't do it. They said he was a problem in the academy. I was like, what? It was like, we don't know how he got a gun and shield. He was in there effing up. Yo, they lay down a law in there. They tell you, okay, they got something called, I ain't going to get into it, deportment cards and command disciplines. If you get a certain amount of CDs, command disciplines, it could cost you your job. You'll get GO-15 sent there. And I mean, you're a recruit. You have a 2-year probation period. You can't even breathe wrong. They're like, we don't know how he got a gun and shield. And eventually he went out there and violated somebody. Yeah, that whole Giuliani era was like, he set a bad tone. He really did. But the flip side was New York was kind of wild. Coming off of David Dinkins, New York was kind of wild. I'll say that. And Giuliani came back and he said the nights belong to us. And although New York was kind of bad, not kind of, New York, there were certain areas that I didn't walk through. Like, wow, this neighborhood over here, I don't care how big her booty is, I ain't going to see her. But she lived in some, the dude's wild. And there were certain areas that cops just didn't patrol. And Giuliani got the seat and he was like, nope. He was so pro-cop. And he took the muzzle off those dogs. And they were running around there throwing people in the walls and stuff. I lived it. Trust me. It got crazy out here. Because I wasn't a street dude. I didn't deserve the treatment I was getting. But the flip side is the hood did certain things. There was cops getting shot, getting jumped. There was things that didn't make the news that you didn't. You're like, oh man, those are 2 cops that just got done beating up. They taking their guns. It was crazy. It was crazy. So when Giuliani took office, he did what he did. And unfortunately, I was victim of that. Getting tossed, stop, question, and frisk every 5 minutes. One time I left my shorty house. From the time I left her house, on Sheridan Avenue, the D train was on Grand Concourse. It was literally a block and a half. I got tossed by 6 different cops. Well, they were partners. Walked out her building, walked up the street, they hopped out on me. Turned the corner on 167th, another group rolled up on me. Got to the train, went downstairs, another 2 cops. I'm like, yo, come on, bro. It was rough. But every action has a reaction. That was a reaction. It was, crime went down, but it was fugazi because I didn't appreciate it. I was like, damn. Double-edged sword, man. Double-edged sword. It was crazy. But when you don't iron out the issues, you get fools like this murderer. He simply shot her because he wanted to. Y'all do understand that, right? He did that because he wanted to. And here we go again. What are we going to do? I'm asking. Are we going to march? We're going to protest? What are we going to do? We always do that. Iron Waffles in that super chat. Salute. He says, salute Drew in the chat, man. Salute to you, good brother. And salute to Eric Jordan. He said, and the kicker was, can we all get along? Hell no. No. Let me say this. I'm not trying to make peace with anyone that doesn't like me just because of whatever. If you don't like me, that's cool. I don't have to deal with you. If you hate me because of my ethnicity, my skin color, you're crazy, and just stay away from me. It's as simple as that. I'm not trying to figure you out. I don't have time for that. I'm past that. I'm past sitting down in a classroom or talking to some OGs and listening to a history of why people feel a certain way you look, man. Once you get a certain age, you have to find stuff out for yourself. And if you don't like a person because of, I don't know, their religion, their race, culture, or creed, the problem ain't them. It's you. And if they on some type of thing that you can't agree with, that's fine. You don't have to deal with them. But some of these dudes get in positions of power and they're waving around a firearm and they do stuff like this. Now, they're going to tell you it's not a racial issue. But 100% it is. It's twofold. I could say he probably don't like women too. Why would you shoot her? Why would you do that, man? What is wrong with you? And then you find out he's been crazy. He's been crazy. This is like absurd. And this keeps happening. It's never gonna be fixed. What do we need to do to fix it? There go my brother Theo Coop, the Do Better podcast. Everyone subscribe here needs to be subscribed over there. No exceptions. You click on his name, you go subscribe to the Do Better squad. Salute. He says, salute Drew in the chat. I've talked about this before on my channel. They're called gypsy cops. What do we know about gypsies, y'all? We know. They get fired or quit previous police departments, move to another area, and wreak havoc again. Wash and repeat. Crack a cop, shouldn't have still had a badge. And we're going to go through it because I got the CNN article pulled up. And you see, you can't do this in New York. You can't do this in New York. Let me tell you something. And salute to you, Theo. Much love. Let me tell you something. You get fired from the police department in New York, you can't go anywhere and get, well, you know what? I stand myself corrected. It used to be like that. But I've been seeing a lot of these cops leave places and pop up somewhere else. These other places don't do background checks. You left that police department? Why? They know what time it is. Normally, a lot of times when a cop is on the verge of getting fired, you know what they do? Depending on what it is, they'll say, Resign. Resign. They'll try and work something out. If you've been there long enough, they're trying to work something out so you can still get your pension. If you got like 15, 20 years, and be like, you know what? Why don't you just retire? You ain't gonna get your max pension, but retire so you can get something. Because if you resign, you ain't gonna get your pension. If you fire you ain't gonna get a pension, and you won't be able to work a lot of places. Retire. That's what they're not doing with these dudes, man. Night Train, salute. 704 Joe, salute. That's what they're not doing. This is just disgusting. They keep doing this. And I'm gonna read this to you. We're gonna find out that this dude wasn't even supposed to be in law enforcement. Endor said it's like that in Michigan. If you get like out here in New York, all right, we got the city, the 5 boroughs. Outside the 5 boroughs, you got Suffolk County, Westchester, Suffolk County, Nassau County. Those are the people leave New York City Police Department to go work at those counties because those guys, they work less and they make a lot more money. But I couldn't fathom if you was terminated from, let's say, Yonkers PD, Nassau PD, Suffolk PD. You couldn't come to the police department. They want to know everything. Yo, listen. When I got hired by the NYPD, the background check was crazy. I had a fight where I got suspended. Well, I got suspended twice in junior high school for fighting. Do you know, my investigator asked me about those fights. She's like, yeah, I see you were suspended twice. I was like, I was in 7th and 8th grade. What was those fights about? It was over dodgeball. One of them was over dodgeball. And the other one was threw something at me in the lunchroom. And we fought. Both of us got suspended. That's what happened. It was kids. Jesus Christ. Coop said they do that all over the Midwest. So the dude who pulled you over in one county can get fired. He done called you an N-word and everything else. He can get fired. 2 years later, same guy pulls you over, but it's a different uniform in a different colored car. You're like, what? Man. Listen. You see why voting is important? What they need to do, when I'm saying they, I'm talking about government. What government needs to do is stop that. Once you're terminated from law enforcement, you shouldn't even be able to work security anywhere. Once that happens, they should be like, nope. Carrying a gun, you can't even be an armed guard. You can't even work for an armored car. You're a risk. No. My brother Kofa in that super chat, much love. He says a lot of precincts are short staffed, so they don't have to do background checks. Also, think about a cop getting fired, then shifting over to the sheriff's department, law enforcement, for 2 different entities. Yeah, in New York, they got the sheriff's department, then they got police officers. The sheriff and the corrections officers considered peace officers, which is different from police officers. It's a mind F. Y'all don't know a lot about that. That's crazy. The difference between a police officer and a peace officer can't go off of, secondhand information. For example, I'm a little rusty with this, but for example, as a peace officer, no one could come to you and say, yo, look, that guy right there just snatched the purse. You got to call 911. You know why? The peace officer has to see the crime. At least that's how it works in New York, man. Police officer, hey man, That guy over there just snatched the purse. They can go over there and stop the person and investigate and do all of that. New York State is just so like weird, man. And I'm rusty on my stuff, man. I'm very rusty. I don't know if that's changed or not. I don't know, man. This is just a fugazi situation. But here we go again. That dude blasted her. I saw that and I was disturbed. I didn't know that they were going to even show that. She was literally following his directions. The partner tried to go to the car and get a medical kit to try and like save her. He says, "Nah, that's a headshot. She's done." Y'all feel safe? I don't. My boy lives in the Midwest. He's been pulled over twice in the last 10 years. He says, "You know what? I didn't stop." I said, "What you mean?" He said, "I'm pulled over." The state trooper hops out from behind a sign telling me to pull over. And he don't stop driving until he gets to a gas station where it's well lit. I said, "That's a good." He said, the second dude accelerated and got on the horn and said, "I will bump you off the road," which is illegal where he lives. He said, "Yeah, if he fishtails me, that's something else. But then he fishtail me and then shoot me up because it's dark outside." He said, "I saw the Getty gas station up there." He said, "I kept driving. And when the cop got there, the gun out, 'What are you doing there? I told you to go." He said, "Yo, you see that? That right there?" He said, "There's cameras out here. I'm not letting you do that a mile down the road where it's dark. No." Told me I thought I saw a gun. Get out of here, man. Theo says it was a gypsy, that cop that killed a 12-year-old Tamir Rice in Cleveland back in 2014. Yeah, I know. He had been fired from previous departments for being unstable. Of course. Listen, man, watch this. That murderous piece of crap, George Zimmerman. You know why he failed? You know why he's not a police officer? You know why he's not a cop? Because I think he took the test a couple of times. You know why he failed? It wasn't because of the written exam. You know what? You know why he failed? He failed the psych. To a normal person, the psych is the easiest part. NYPD, the psych exam, part of the psych is sitting there and taking it for that long. It was like 300 questions. And they asked you the same question, different parts of the exam, like 5 different times. I'm going through it like, yo, they asked me this already, but they worded it different. I'm like, they asked me this already. It was just tedious. I'm like, oh my God. But you know how many people fail the psych in the police department? I knew a dude that took NYPD, failed the psych 3 times, and then eventually he aged out. He turned 36, he couldn't take it no more. Couldn't take the exam no more. Once you pass 35, it's over. But I knew him personally, and I said, yeah, I wouldn't want him doing anything police related. I kept failing the psych, and I'm saying to myself, yeah, dude, because you're nuts. But I ain't say that to him, but I was like, yeah, of course you failed the psych. Of course. I'm like, yo, who's gonna tell him? Not me. I also heard this dude's mother. Well, I'm gonna pull it up on the gram. The Audacity Podcast, heavy in that Cash App, much love and appreciation. He says, black first. We have to keep it that way, good brother. That's why I have no shame in representing who I am. I don't let anyone shame me for being black. You know, when I go to these boxing matches and, you know, people, oh man, you know, you only do this because you only root for this guy because you're black. Yeah, absolutely. Why wouldn't I? So what's going on with this thing here? Damn it. Come on. Why wouldn't I? Only black people get shamed for supporting our own businesses. Only we get shamed for that. Supporting our own, we get shamed for that. It's not about race. They say that all the time. Not only boxing, it's all sports, it's everything. Yo, look, it's not about race. Everything is about race. You know what it's not about race? When we're winning at something. Then it's not about race. Then when they start stumping us up and tripping us up, and it's obvious, Oshaki Foster, there's no other way you can. Yo, Theo, you still here? And Theo, you know, he don't not a boxing channel, but Theo, 2 weeks ago, you don't need to be a boxing expert to know what you've seen. 2 weeks ago, we witnessed one of the illest robberies in boxing like that we've seen in a long time. And I'm telling you, this brother, Oshaki Foster, they tried to get him. They've been trying to get him for like 3 fights. One dude got to the ring, but they tried to take padding out of his padding was missing out his gloves, but Oshaki's corner caught it and they had to redo the gloves. Then he was fighting this dude in Mexico. They were about to rob him on the cars, but he won by knockout. Pulled that out. Well, they finally got him 2 weeks ago on ESPN. He fought on the undercard of the Shakur Stevenson fight. He outclassed the Brazilian Consequia, and he robbed him. There was no part of that fight that Consequia won. No part. And they robbed the kid. What else is it? What else is it? And if you know the landscape or how those belts are moving around and who's in line for what, I tell you, they don't see value in us at all. Lomachenko is the greatest thing since Sugar Ray Leonard and Muhammad Ali. The man had Floyd Mayweather on his roster. He never said that about him. He got Shakur Stevenson right now. Never put him on pay-per-view. Had Bud Crawford. And when it was asked, yo, why did he fight Manny Pacquiao? He said, I killed the fight because I know how it ends. And Manny's a nice guy. That's what he said. Turned right around and said the amount of money I lost on Bud, I could have bought a house in Beverly Hills. Family, tell me I'm not lying. Huh? What was that? But Lomachenko with 3 losses is still held to a high standard. He just told Tank Davis, I don't feel like it. I'm spending time with my family. I'm going to do it when I'm ready. Who are you with 3 losses? You see what I mean? And y'all know I don't like Tank Davis. Has nothing to do with boxing. But he was just treated like an N-word. Was he not? And no, is ESPN dragging Lomachenko for doing that? That was an anticipated fight. It was all good when I was out here saying, hey man, Loma, that was Tank's responsibility. He was supposed to fight Loma 4 years ago. Did I not say that? Did I not jump on Tank for saying, yo, man, you were supposed to take care of that guy. And he's still here. Now he done told you, I don't feel like it. And these Tank fans, they got all the smoke for Devin. They're not saying nothing to Shakur. And Loma, they're not even Smoke and talk, the real Baltimore in the building. Salute. Light Eyes, salute. Who'd I miss? Being Pro, Amina, salute. Being Pro in that super chat, salute to you, man. Much love and appreciation. Thank you so much. So we have our own dysfunction. And y'all forgot about Miss Owens, didn't y'all? Happened. She dead. I did a video about it. We talked about it. I think that white woman went to jail. Done. And now we got a cop shot that sister in the face. Is Kamala Harris gonna, entertain this at all? I'm just asking. Y'all remember that lie that was around talking about black men unalive women every 5 minutes or something? It was something crazy. I'm like, who lied to y'all? That's not true. It's not true. So let's get to the problem. CNN. Family of Sonia Massie is calling for a probe into the hiring of sheriff's deputy charged with fatally shooting 36-year-old black woman in her Illinois home this month, citing her concerns over records showing he'd worked at 6 law enforcement agencies in the last 4 years and was charged with driving under the influence twice. Stop right there. Why is this guy even unbelievable, man? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Y'all ready? Aaron Jordan, where you been? Salute to you. He said salute to the God, man. Salute to you, good brother. Good to see you. Y'all see this? Y'all hear this? 6 different departments in 4 years. And was charged with a DUI twice. Twice. Yet somebody thought it was okay to give him a gun and shield, swear him in, deputize him or whatever they did, and tell him to go enforce the law. Anyone that tells you that a cop has a hard job, ask them if this was a justified shooting. Because the people with the biggest mouths have no training in shooting non-shoot scenarios. Trust me. I've seen and heard some weird stuff. Sean Grayson, 30-year-old Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy, who has since been fired from the agency, was indicted by a grand jury last week on 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count each of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct in connection with the July 6th shooting of Massey's home near Springfield. Now, let me stop right there for a minute. I got to keep going back to what the atmosphere is. Let me move this for a second. You see, it's unfortunate that this happened to this woman, but it always seems that things happen and they always shape up to prove our point. Drew, what are you talking about? Well, I'm going to tell you. Didn't we have to hear that fat dude that was running around with Ryan Garcia? All of this is relevant now. And what did he tell Champside? Oh, my friend was unalived by another black man, and get away from black people and your life gets better. Stay away from them for 20 days and your life gets better. Had Ryan Garcia running around on the internet talking about, I want to resurrect George Floyd, delete him again, right? And George Floyd was a drug addict. The knee from Officer Chauvin was not what killed him. It was the drugs in the system. Remember that? And he said he wanted to join the Ku Klux Klan. That's what he said. So I wonder, why isn't Ryan Garcia canceled again? And who's that fat black dude? Did anyone run to him and be like, yo, what you got to say about this? I heard about Springfield Night Train. Absolutely. I heard about it. And here's the funny part. Not funny like ha ha ha, but this right here, this is not an isolated incident. This is what really happens. Come on, man. Whoever that fat dude is, he could never be around me. It wasn't until I got to social media that I learned they still manufactured Negroes like that. I never knew. I didn't think. I just, bro. I never knew. Let me get this back up here. He has entered a not guilty plea and was denied pretrial release, according to court records. State's Training and Standards Board records show Grayson's law enforcement certification has been suspended. CNN has sought comment from Grayson's attorney. You know what? I'm not gonna read all of this, man. I'm just gonna put this in the. I'm just gonna put this in the Auntie Jenny salute. I'm gonna put this in there for y'all to read it. I'm gonna pin it. Pin this. I'm just sick of this, man. I'm sick of this. I am exhausted from all of this crap, man. I'm exhausted. I'm really exhausted. I'm really exhausted. This keeps happening, y'all. 6 agencies in 4 years after being charged with a DUI. Now, I'm talking about race, right? First of all, find me the black sheriff or cop that's gone through that. Able to maintain a job after a DUI, a law enforcement job. Find one. I'm not saying it don't exist. I'm saying find one. Can you come forth? Black law enforcement officer, can you come forth and say, yeah, I've had something worse than that or similar to that, and I still was able to get a job in law enforcement? Let me know who you are, please. Come forth, brother. I need to know who you are, because I don't think that exists. I really don't. How can this be? The department that hired this fool needs to be held accountable. Now, there's something else I want to, hold on. Let me see. This guy's name is Sean Grayson. Let me see something. Oops, I spelled that wrong. Sean Grayson's mom or something responded let me pull up my Instagram. Y'all not gonna believe this. You're not gonna believe this, bro. I promise you. Hold on. Y'all not gonna believe this, bro. Let me go to my saved videos. Bro, I saw this today and I lost it, bro. This sister did a TikTok and I'm listening to the information. Just listen to this, y'all.
Who unalived Sonia Massie inside of her home on July 6th. His grandmother-in-law to be, Brenda Butterfield, the mother of Deputy Scott Butterfield and the grandmother of Sean Grayson's fiance, has written an article for the Muddy River News. And it is easily the most disgusting and infuriating thing I have ever read in my whole life. And I'm going to read it to you guys now. So Brenda Butterfield is apparently not very happy that the Muddy River News and pretty much every other news outlet in the Midwest is covering the situation between Sonia Massie and Sean P. Grayson and the egregious actions that Sean P. Grayson took that resulted in Sonia's life no longer existing. Keeping in mind that Scott Butterfield is the only reason why Sean P. Grayson got that job in the first place. He had already been passed over by Springfield PD. He had already worked at 6 different departments in 4 years. And this is the mother of the deputy responsible for getting Sean P. Grayson in a badge.
You hear that?
Has to say. It's titled Letter to the Editor. Does anyone care about Sean Grayson's family or what horrifying reality they are dealing with? Okay, I'm going to try to read through this in a calm, cool, collected manner because when I read through it the first time, I had to stop myself from throwing my phone. First, to the protesters. What are you protesting? Sean is in jail, charges are filed, trial date to be set, and punishment to be applied. Sean is not going anywhere, so please knock off wearing out your sweat glands. So please take your signs and go home and just be humans, not the amusement or disgust to the public. Point number 2. Does anyone care about Sean's family or what horrifying reality they're dealing with? What about his fiance he was to marry in October? She is an innocent young woman who is also unfairly being persecuted. Does anyone care about the destruction of her life? She is left to deal with an emotional passing. What are you talking about? Sean's future in-law families. A to-be father-in-law who is as close to Sean as a father as can be. Okay, Brenda. A future mother-in-law, sister-in-law, and brother-in-law who is Sean's friend. Future grandparents who loved Sean dearly and still do. Shock, disbelief, and reality, but an undying support for Sean. The past cannot be relived. The future is unknown. We only have each day to pray without ceasing. The Sean everyone desires to hate and to persecute is not the Sean we have all known and loved. We will always support Sean. Judge not, lest ye be judged. No man or woman is without sin. There is a final judgment for all. Signed, proud grandmother-to-be of Sean Grayson. And please keep in mind, that woman decided to publish that article 20 days after Sonia Massie has passed away. 20 days. And it's literally just been a couple days since the body cam footage has been released and people now know the truth of what happened to Sonia Massie. And this is what you want to say? You want us to have sympathy for the man who took her life and his family? Oh, brother. Brenda, that was actually insane. Sean.
Shut up and dribble. Shut up and dribble. Y'all see what I'm saying? Shut up and dribble. Oh, yeah, okay. Ryan Garcia cheated. But man, just stop crying about it. Go on and fight Superel Matias. Why you crying? Okay, yeah, Ryan cheated. Why you crying, man? Move on. Slavery happened, man, but why y'all using that as a crutch? Move on. They don't say nothing about the Holocaust to those Jewish people, do they? And you're not supposed to. On her deathbed, I lied on Emmett Till. On her deathbed. Now you lied? Shut up and dribble. Why are you complaining? Move on. I know he shot her in the face. But what about our family and what we're going through? Excuse me? Did you see the video? Oh, you did. Just another day, right? It was an inside job that got him that job in the first fucking place. That was home cooking. That's what my dad used to call the good old boys. Backslapping each other. He was not supposed to be on that job. 6 agencies in 4 years. Had 2 DUIs prior to that. Can I say something to y'all, man? Do y'all understand why I will never let that Ryan Garcia thing go? That was when I told y'all that this was beyond boxing. Do you understand now? I know I explained it. I know black people get it. But when you have other races come in here and talk about what it's not, and I know there's going to be some fools saying, how are you relating this to boxing? I'm talking about the treatment, man. Amir Khan got 2 years. Jarrell Miller got like 3 or 4. Just now, Robin Helenius got his 2 years. I told y'all this thing with Ryan Garcia is weird. That kid is mobbed up. He has to be. He has to be. Canelo got a slap on the wrist. Those dudes are mobbed up. When I talk about them, that's when they start sending bullets through my damn stream. I told y'all that. I'm talking about the treatment. If it's not obvious. Y'all see why I'm so rough on Tank Davis? I'm wondering what is his OGs really doing. This is not trolling just for the sake of the sport. There's a bigger picture here. No one's going to tell that young black man, yo, bro, this ain't the time for that. You don't need to be doing that. No one going to tell him this is just a game to him. It's a game until it happens to him. Y'all don't notice the change in bro. Only my boxing heads know this. AJ, his behavior in 2017, the way he's acting now, it's not the same. Tell me I'm lying. You know when it changed? When he came to New York and they got him. He knows what happened and he knows not to say anything. They just wanted him to come off for one, just take one L. These people are symbolic. Do y'all follow Scrapbook Boxing? He just uploaded an Archie Moore video today. Did you watch it? He just uploaded, I think, yesterday. He's going through his top 10 fighters of all time. Joe Louis is there. Jack Johnson's there. Archie Moore is there. Listen to those videos when he gets to the racial part. Charlie Burley had to warm up in mop closets because he couldn't go to a locker room because he was black. When you're traveling as a black fighter to go to a different town, you'll see black people hanging from trees. You don't know if it was something that they did, which doesn't warrant being hung, or they were trying to intimidate you. Deeper than boxing. So when I see these dudes come up and talk about, hey man, I just keep it boxing, man, shut your mouth. How we're treated in all walks of life is a direct reflection in sports. Shut your mouth. Don't ever in your life tell me it's not a, man, boxing lives and breathes off of the racial aspect. They tell us, oh man, you just rooting for him because he's black. But you go to a Canelo fight. Viva Mexico. And that's okay. Told Jamel Charlo when he was fighting Castano. Told him, he was like, USA, USA. That chick said, nobody even wants you here. Man, shut up. Drowned out by Argentinians. And we're in America. This is all relevant, man. That's why I get offended when people say, oh, it's not about race. It's not. Yeah, you would say that. Latino, you would say that. White person, you would say that. You would say that. You don't know the history of the sport. You don't know. Did y'all know that about the black fighters? Did y'all know Archie Moore fought everybody on the Black Murderers Row? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know he had a little rift with a young Cassius Clay? Salute, Wendy. I appreciate you. Do y'all know that? This is an ugly history. Black American history is ugly. It's ugly. I'm amazed that we still here, man. But I understand the dysfunction and why we're so messed up. It's conditioning. But when you have knowledge of self, when you have a real history, do you know they tried to erase the history about 5 years ago? Social studies books in Texas. If those parents didn't read what's in those books, they'd have slipped through the cracks. You know what they put in those books? Slaves moved from Africa to the Americas for a better way of life. I'm like, what year is this? 2002? They talking about those Africans? From the Ivory Coast to 2003? What are they talking about? They're talking about slavery. I said, whoa, hold on. Those parents caught that. They said, this ain't true. Plymouth Rock? What are you talking about? They don't want to talk about racism. They want to erase everything that made us who we are. You know why? Because that genocide, we were supposed to be gone. We were supposed to be extinct. We weren't even considered humans. Racism is alive and well. It's just more covert. And they do little things like that. That's why I asked y'all, that's why I told Brother Theo, go watch Steel Shock. And he don't do boxing. But not enough. That what happened on Shockey should go over boxing. We should be questioning everything about boxing. If y'all really don't watch boxing, y'all really don't know what we've been dealing with. That's why I give Tank such a hard. I want to strangle that kid, man. It's like, what are you doing with this fan base that you have? You could be doing so much more. It's the same thing we said about Floyd. We're protecting him from racist attacks and everything because it was the right thing to do. Years later, Gucci does something messed up. And we protesting, he drops 8 mil in Gucci. Tells us all lives matter. I'm like, oh man. But wait a minute. Who is his OG? Roger? And no disrespect to Roger, but do you think those guys really are schooled on history? His father? He cursed his father out and the whole world saw it. So who's really teaching Floyd? Al Heyman? No. He taught him how to balance a checkbook. That's about it. The guy had no real mentorship. That's why his kids are messed up. His daughter sleeping with rappers, throws her out the house. She comes in through the back door and stabs the baby mama. Almost killed her. Look what he did with Adrian Broner. Adrian Broner was next up. But he said, you know what? I have to stump him one good time because I can't have him better than me. For all I know, he probably told Madonna how to beat him. For all we know. Why do I say that? Look what he did to Devin. Y'all ever thought of that? Stormy, you ever thought of that? You ever thought that maybe those gloves wasn't checked and Floyd knew about that? Y'all ever thought that maybe he told Madonna, yo, man, this is how you do. This is how you get AB. You ever thought of that? That Marcos Maidana that beat up Adrian Broner was not the Marcos Maidana that we saw Devin Alexander beat the crap out of. Devin Alexander beat the crap out of Marcos Maidana. What changed? It was those gloves, man. Exactly, Demar. All of this stuff happening. At this point, we needed more unity than ever. And what is Tank doing? He's popping and locking in his underwear on social media. I'm like, what grown man? What grown man does that? You choking chicks at basketball games, and it's really not about boxing. I'm talking about character. So when people come in, oh, you hating on Tank? I do hate Tank. He has no character. When did I say he was trash in the ring? The man has no character. Why do you think I treated Shakur the same way? He's getting in trouble outside the ring, getting arrested. They take his mugshot, put it on his box red. We fought for him. Turns right around, wave a Puerto Rican flag. I said, that is so disrespectful. How many Boricuas fought to get your mugshot taken off your box rec and putting the right picture back? How many Boricuas did that for you? Just name them. And all I said was, mighty convenient to wave that flag under the top rank banner. All I asked was, where was that flag during the Olympics? That was when he was supposed to be waving that Puerto Rican flag. That was when you were supposed to be waving it. You didn't do it. You come to top rank and magically you waving the flag. Sound like you wanted to duck being 50% of what your mother is. That's what it sounded like. And that's why I got offended. That's why I was calling him Shakur Sanchez. That's when I got offended. I'm like, man, this dude's over here trying to denounce his black side because he don't want to be on the radar for all of that politics. Because he saw what they were trying to do for Teofimo Lopez. Trying to freeze Devin out. Teofimo wasn't supposed to say that out loud. If you watch my boxing show, you know what I'm talking about. He wasn't supposed to say that out loud. He spilled the beans on how the WBO and the WBC was trying to stand behind Teofimo Lopez and put him in a position where he could win. And he knew that they were gonna freeze Devin out. You see why I said that term freeze out is so important? You see why? You see why I said black fighters aren't supposed to use that with one another? That term freezing out. The Black Murderers Row were all frozen out of opportunities. They had to fight each other like 108 times. Do y'all watch Stormy B, man? Do y'all watch Scrapbook Boxing? He spoke about it today. The Archie Moore video. Go watch it. Scrapbook Boxing. He spoke about it today. Today. Man, listen. The education for boxing history is here. You can do that and get that real education. You can talk X's and O's with Stormy. Or you can run over to the taco head dude and the crazy dude in Chicago that wants to kill everybody, and I don't know how he don't have strikes on his channels, whatever. Or go listen to haters. What I'm telling you is go get educated. Those guys, they're not going to educate you at all. It comes from a place of emotion, hatred, and self-hatred. Because none of those guys are white. I'm telling you where to go. And then go get the education and come back to me. Tell me what you found wrong. Tell me what you cross-referenced. Oh, he said this. And I cross-referenced it and it's wrong. You won't believe Scrapbook Boxer when he says, I spoke to Archie Mora on a few occasions. You won't believe him when he says that. But you'll believe these fools with food on their head, with dinner on their head, talking about, oh, I spoke to this guy and the hair particle test is going to exonerate Ryan. And why are you standing in the pocket for this kid? And then, what do they do when Ryan is guilty? Get over it. All right, go fight Sandor Martin, Devin. Why y'all still talking about it? It's over. Shut up and dribble. What did this chick just say? What about our family? I mean, sure, that black chick got shot in the face, but what about our family? What about what we're going through? Shut up and dribble. Yeah, the Holocaust happened. Forget about it. Yeah, the slavery happened. Yeah, King Leopold II. That happened, but, get over it, though. There's no racism. We had a black president. We're about to have a black female president. Probably not, but whatever. And that's a whole, I don't want to get into that. That's a whole other thing. But hey, she can play with this story if she wants to. How many black people were killed 8 years Obama was in office? What did he do? I don't want to go there, man. All I'm saying is a lot of these cities in this country are democratic states. And that's where all of these migrants are. And we're supposed to vote Democrat. Black people I'm talking about. And by the way, another black woman was just shot in the face. I mean, come on. Slavery is, I'm not slavery, but racism is still here. It's just more covert now. One of the illest attacks on American soil, and I say this jokingly, from China, it didn't come from a bomb. It was in the form of TikTok. Because you idiots can't wait to get on TikTok and start doing a funny dance and doing these weird challenges. Some of those challenges cost y'all your life. TikTok in China is not like that. It's very educational. But shut up and dribble though, right? Who are we as a community? What are we going to do about this? I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. We're going to talk about it. I'm doing my little live stream about it right now. And in about 2 weeks, on to the next. This dude, he's not going to get out. He's going to get life. I really feel they're going to throw a number behind it. This is going to be like a crazy number. Like, yeah, we're going to sentence you to like 92 years. He's like 30 plus years old. He ain't going to live. Let me say this. There is an overall mentality that certain officers have. Like they really feel they can do whatever they want. This fool, the fact that he got that job, he really felt he could do whatever he wanted to. You think he didn't know there was a body cam? He just feels that, my white privilege, I'm going to get away with this. And he's paying for this now. And I knew some cops like that. You're looking at them like, bro, you know damn well if you ain't have that Glock 19, you would not be talking to him like, you know that. You walking around the street with your chest poked out, off duty, and it's like, you wouldn't even be in this neighborhood if you didn't have that Glock 19, that Sig Sauer P226, that Smith & Wesson. You know that, man. So why are you acting crazy? Why are you talking to him crazy? These dudes really, some of them, not all of them, they really think they could just do whatever they want to do. They have a bully, some of them have a bully mentality. I had one fool, remember my stalker? I put him on the Summer Jam screen. If y'all go back that far, remember that stalker I had? Did y'all know he was an NYPD sergeant? Did y'all know that? And I took care of that. But when I went and I spoke to people, they were like, man, him? I said, yeah. Look at this, watch this. They said, man, you know he wouldn't be saying. I said, I know. You ain't even wouldn't be saying that to my face. Absolutely not. Because you know what happened. And I'm not stupid. I'm not going to go to no stupid ass gym to beat him up, because I know what comes with that. I beat him up in the gym and then get shot on the way out. I'm not stupid. But this is a 50-year-old man trolling online. Are you kidding me? And he's a boss. Gold Shield. He did it because he thought he could do it and get away with it. No. And I took care of it. See, I know how to fight. Fighting doesn't mean literally putting hands on somebody. What do I always say, y'all? Documentation what? Beats conversation. There it is. There it is. That blue wall of silence, trust me when I tell you, it goes but so far. And this dude that shot this queen, it's gonna run downhill because he's not coming out of prison. But after his record leaks out, now everyone's acting like, yo, how did he get there? All of this, his past, who hired him? And Shorty just spilled the beans. The chick that wrote that, that's all privilege. She thinks that she can say that and speak her piece and tell us, man, shut up and dribble. And we're dealing with something too, and he's a member of our family. Hold on. Now that you done spilled the beans, you mean to tell me your husband or whatever, Butterfield or whoever this dude's name is, hired him off a GP because y'all a family? He wasn't supposed to be there. So because you hired him, you literally gave him a license to kill, and he did just that. That family should never have to, that police department should make it so that that family for the next 5 generations are very wealthy. Very wealthy. And all of them people involved in processing that paperwork, they should be in jail with him. If you own a trucking company, are you going to hire someone that had a DUI at any point in their life? Why? Why would you? I'll tell you, I know why you wouldn't. You ain't going to be crashing my trucks up, running my insurance premiums up. You ain't going to kill nobody on my watch. What? Man, I ain't going to beat y'all in the head. This is some BS. And all the people involved, they're going to get everything they deserve. But I need Black people to understand, when I talk about a code, this is what I mean. We have to be unconditional and relentless in our approach. We need to stand on our business. Don't let anyone shame you at all. Oh, you doing this because he's black? Yeah. You doing this because she's black? Yes. You're not going to shame me. Absolutely. But I need y'all to be smart during this election. Y'all know what I'm going to say. I just gave y'all a little gem about the cities. Cities are in disarray. And those are all blue states. I'm just saying, man. I'm not saying Trump is that guy, but I'm saying do your research. Tribalism doesn't always work, in politics in particular. That's another show. What I'm telling you guys, you need to be aware. This is not the atmosphere for people to be fence riding and saying it's not about race, it's not about this, not about that. It absolutely is. And I'm not arguing with anybody. Well, I stopped arguing with people over that a long time ago. Really did. Because if they want to stay lost, let them. We're at war, all right? And when you're at war, you can't train anyone how to use their virtual firearm. You gotta be careful on YouTube. I can't train you how to work your virtual firearm while I'm firing mine. I have a platform, I'm using it for what it's for. Okay? I've proven a lot of things, especially right here on YouTube. I've proven a whole lot.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
I've proven that. If you're late, when I'm back on Drew Titan LLC, I'll explain it in greater detail. And what I know is that criminals always return to the scene of the crime and they can't help themselves. But when you disarm them to the point where they can't discipline you because you haven't done anything, but they're still doing what they're doing, time reveals all truth. And documentation beats conversation. Miguel has done more than enough. And I've documented it all. All. We've been at war. So I'll say this in closing. My stance on all of these super raccoons and monkeys, it still stands. If you're in a place where you're saying that race don't matter and you think I'm ODing, it's okay. Stay away from me though. Because sooner or later you get your N-word wake-up call. It always happens. Whether it be sports or real life situations. How you explain this woman getting bucked in the face? How do you explain that? And her family standing in the pocket for him. Like they're the victim. Shut up and dribble. That brother LeBron never been in trouble outside of the off the court. Never had no no controversies with his kids or nothing. That boy dribbles the ball and he goes home. He's at his kids' ball games, got his son into the league. He exercised his form of nepotism, and I ain't got no problem with that. Look, I know there's probably 50 players that were better than Bronny, but you know what? LeBron would have been a sucker if he didn't get his son into the league to some capacity. He pulled the ultimate string and got him in the league on a team to play with him. How about that? That's a flex. We should be partying. And I know there's probably some dudes like, yo, man, I'm better than Bronny, statistically and all that. Yo, look, man, that's the name of the game. You know what you was dealing with, like these black boxers. They get to what they think is a pinnacle. Next thing you know, an Oshaki Foster situation happens. And I'm so mad that they did that to that brother, but at the same time, I think he understands the business. And if he didn't, he understands now. Deontay Wilder didn't understand the business. He understands it now. Anthony Joshua thought he was exempt. I'm British. And I'm not as dark as Deontay. That's a factor. And I have all my teeth, and I speak the Queen's language. Yup. You came to New York, and I saw what they did to you, brother. And they said, we're doing this to you, and don't say nothing. And he hasn't. What do you think all the meltdowns were about? He lost to Usyk, but what was the meltdowns really about? Wasn't this a little weird how he was behaving? I'm telling you, it's deeper than you think. But you'll get dudes coming along saying, oh, it's not about that, it's not about weight. And they start buck dancing, and, their hair gets this big, and their lips turn white, and they, Mimi. Okay, I don't understand anything past that. This is going to keep happening, y'all. How we going to move? I know what I want to do. I ain't talking about violence or nothing like that. AJ said one of the things that is right, and they virtually hung him for saying that in the UK. Remember what he said? He just wants black people to support black businesses. He didn't say delete anybody or anything like that. And then y'all remember the tweets? Oh, next time I'm going to root against you. I hope you don't win another fight in your life. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything that Chinatown doesn't do. He didn't say anything that the Jewish community over here in Brooklyn does. The Jewish dollar rotates at least 8 or 9 times before it leaves the neighborhood. They take care of each other. All AJ said was, we got to take care of each other. Everyone else is doing it. And as soon as he said that, they attacked him. And Eddie Hearn played politics. He didn't get on there and say, shut up, leave him alone. He's right. You saw that, and this was when the world went crazy over George Floyd. We get mad for a little while and whatever. When Mike Brown was murdered by the cop, Deontay went down there and marched, and what did the brothers say? Oh, it's a marketing scheme. What? I could say that was from the heart because I know Deontay. But that's what y'all say? That was a publicity stunt for what? Man. And it's that type of dysfunction, which is why we're at the bottom of the barrel. We'll never move forward. When you got Shakur running around, doing what he's doing, when you got Tank running around, doing and saying what he's doing, and I'm telling you, I know how this works. It's gonna happen to Tank. They're gonna get him. I'm just saying, when they get him, I ain't gonna go crazy. I'm gonna be like, look, this happened and he lost. We know what we saw. I'll open up the line. Let y'all let y'all argue about it. I'm gonna be like, told you this was gonna happen. You deal with it. I'm not fighting for him. He got money and cars and tattoos in Baltimore. Y'all good on that. Shaquille Field, salute, sis. I know how this works. This sister getting murdered by this white man, this is right in tune to everything I've been talking about this whole time. Look at what happened and think about, is anyone going to talk? Did Ryan tweet today or yesterday about this? Did he tweet? I have a copy of a tweet where Tank called Clarissa Shields something derogatory. He said something crazy about her. What was that? That was a Jewish woman that happened to. Everything would have stopped. That town would have been turned upside down. All of those cops would have been out of a job and everything else. What I'm saying is, this is nothing new. This is there's always a bigger picture to this. All right. The other sister that was murdered a few months ago, that was Ajiki Owens, murdered in front of her kids. That white woman shot through the door and killed her. It was crazy. But I'm just talking though, right? This is ridiculous. This dude had no business on that job. He got the job by way of nepotism. Because I think if I heard it right, he's related to the dude or married to somebody, and it was a connection. He got in by way of nepotism. That's why I don't even want to talk about LeBron James and Bronny James. This murderer was carrying a gun and shield. He got on that job. You think they have applications they get every day. You think there weren't people patiently waiting to get a phone call because they needed that gig? But this dude, 4 different agencies in 6 years? Or was it 6 in 4 years? I think it was 6 agencies in 4 years. Prior to all of that, he had 2 DUIs. And somebody got applications in there, and they're good little soldiers with clean records, but due to nepotism, he got the job and shot a black woman in the face. ATL, salute. And meanwhile, y'all want to talk to me about LeBron and Bronny. Y'all have no smoke for Ryan Garcia. Shut up and dribble. Move on. Fight Sandro Martinez, Subriel Matias. Still, Osterine didn't stop the left hook from landing. I got to hear that from Floyd Scarfield. The N-word that he is. Did he get on here and say that? We loving brown people, y'all. Ow.
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
All the people with the big mouths talking about there is no racism, whatever. Your thoughts. Where y'all at? We go through this all the time. It's like there's some people that just so down on that. They're just like, yo, fuck it. Imagine doing the right thing all your life. You praying to Jesus and everything, and then you go to church and thinking you're helping out somebody, and then that somebody comes back and sprays up the whole church, and you 82 years old, and you don't die in a car wreck, you don't die in one of the wars that you was alive during, you don't get robbed or whatever, you just get robbed of your life by some racist white kid named Dillian Roof. All through life, you did the right thing. You lived, if you in your 80s and you died that day, you went through the Martin Luther King era. You remember Malcolm X and all this other stuff. George Floyd, no, it was George Floyd was after that. But what I'm saying is, I think it was. But you've seen some stuff. And you did the right thing. You have a family, you raise your kids. You go to church every Sunday just to get shot by a kid you tried to help. But there's no racism. Tired of talking, man. I'm tired. Then cats want to turn around. Yo, why you so hard on Tank? Y'all remember when we said Deontay got cheated and we had all this evidence and everything we presented was 100% true. Remember all the fools that said, hey man, and these be pros too. That can't happen. I asked them, is there cheating in boxing? And this is why Floyd Scarfield could never talk to me. Everything he said, he just put his son in danger. Because the only thing I will say to him is, Floyd, is there cheating in boxing? Yes or no? It's just a yes or no answer. He has to say yes. I don't want to hear, oh, well, there has been cheating in boxing. No, is there cheating in boxing? Yes. You just so happened on Shockey Forza. It's cheating in referees, judging, equipment, all of that. Poisoning water, all of that. So with that being said, Mr. Scarfield, if skills pay the bills, and it shouldn't matter whether a person's juice to the gills or that's a bar. If skills pay the bills, and it doesn't matter if your opponent's juice to the gills. I'm from the Bronx, it's easy. That means your son's next fight, you shouldn't worry about sending someone from your corner to watch the hand wraps and everything in your opponent's locker room. That's going to stop immediately because your son is that nice with it, right? And see what he says. You shouldn't be in your opponent's locker room. You don't have to go. You don't have to go. You could bypass all of that. See, he set himself up for failure. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen to that kid. And we're gonna be like, that's kind of weird. He reacted kind of funny to that punch. Oh, wait a minute. He was winning, but how the hell did he lose this fight?
¡Ay, Miguel! ¡Miguel!
But what do I know? Let me get out of here, man. I'm gonna drop some videos this weekend. Got a lot going on, brothers and sisters. Man, salute to y'all, man. Yeah, and you know what? That saying right there, Kane. Every person that loses, that's the first thing I said to Jamel about Jamel Charlo. Skills pay the bills. I didn't see no skill versus Canelo. Nothing. But salute to y'all, man. Salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, man. Y'all came through for a brother. You know, life is life. You know, I'm dealing with a lot, but the world's not gonna feel sorry for you, especially when you're a black man. You just gotta, you know, become a rhino, hold your head and just move forward. So I still find time to talk to y'all because this is a way of me venting in a way. And it's not even a YouTube thing, you know, we all have stuff that we deal with. Just deal with it. Just deal with it and do the best you can. If you need to go sit down and talk to someone, do that. But salute to everybody in the Venmo, the Zelle, the Cash App, the Super Chat. I really appreciate y'all. The reunions in Atlanta. 2 weeks. I see y'all there. I'm all set up and ready to go. Look forward to meeting all of y'all. Y'all make sure y'all take it gently, man. Love y'all. Peace.